did you think that we wouldn't?
Hi everyone and welcome to Who Threw the Curve, and this is a Robert Ruiz rant. And today we're going to be speaking on the art of sarcastic diplomacy. 5 genius phrases to disarm any argument. Conflict. That delightful human pastime where 2 or more people engage in a verbal duel, often leaving casualties of logic and reasoning strewn across the battlefield. But fear not, for those armed with the sharp wit and cunning intellect of a seasoned diplomat, there lies a treasure trove of high IQ phrases that can diffuse even the most explosive of confrontations. Herein lies your guide to mastering the art of arguing wisely, with a splash of sarcasm and a dollop of humor. Number 1, I see your point, but have you considered? Oh, the beauty of this phrase. It's like handing someone a bouquet of roses while subtly hinting that the perspective might be, well, a tad misguided. When you say, I see your point, you're essentially telling them congratulations, you managed to form a coherent thought. But then you follow up with the classic, but have you considered? This is where you gently guide them back to the realm of reality, all while maintaining the illusion of respect. It's the verbal equivalent of patting someone on the head while redirecting them away from a cliff. Number 2, let's agree to disagree. The diplomatic exit strategy. This phrase is the equivalent of saying, I can continue to argue with you, but I have better things to do with my time, like watching paint dry. It's perfect for those moments when the other party is so entrenched in their belief that trying to change their mind would be as futile as teaching a cat to fetch. By suggesting a truce, you're not admitting defeat, you're simply acknowledging that some battles aren't worth the casualties. Plus, it gives you the added bonus of appearing magnanimous, like a ruler who's too wise to engage in petty squabbles. Number 3, that's an interesting perspective. This gem is the ultimate in passive-aggressive diplomacy. When you say, that's an interesting perspective, what you're really saying is, well, that's one way to look at it. If you're completely out of touch with reality, it's a phrase that allows you to acknowledge someone's opinion without actually endorsing it. The beauty of it lies in its ambiguity. It's neither an agreement nor a disagreement, but rather a polite nod to the sheer absurdity of their viewpoint. Plus, it buys you time to formulate a more coherent rebuttal. Number 4, help me understand your thinking. This phrase is a masterclass in fiend curiosity. By asking someone to help you understand, you're subtly implying their logic is so convoluted that it requires detailed explanation. It's the equivalent to saying, I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I must have missed the part where your argument made sense. It's a polite way of putting the onus back on them to justify their position while you sit back and enjoy the mental gymnastics. And who knows, maybe in the process, they'll realize the flaws in their own argument. If not, at least you've had a good laugh. Number 5, let's focus on what we can agree on. This phrase is the diplomatic equivalent of waving a white flag while pointing out the obvious. It's perfect for those moments when you've reached an impasse. And continuing the argument would be like trying to squeeze the blood from a stone. By suggesting a focus on common ground, you're acknowledging that while you may not see eye to eye on everything, there are still points of agreement. It's a way of saying, let's not waste our breath on the 99% we disagree on. Let's celebrate the 1% where we're actually on the same page. Plus, it makes you look like the reasonable one, which is always a win in any argument. In the end, navigating the treacherous waters of conflict requires a delicate balance of wit, sarcasm, and a high IQ. With these 5 phrases in your arsenal, you'll be well equipped to diffuse any confrontation with grace and humor. Remember, the goal isn't necessarily to win the argument, but to emerge unscathed, and ideally leave your opponent questioning their own sanity. After all, in the grand game of verbal sparring, the true victor is the one who can walk away with their dignity intact and a smirk on their face. Thank you for listening to Who Threw the Curve. Don't forget to like us, share us, and subscribe. Thanks.
Terrorists.